Hear ye, this is the Comic Collector Club. Welcome, everybody. I am the Immortal Biggie Shack, and this week we're going to be talking about signatures, stuff like that. This was a little impromptu. We always stream around this time. I sent some invites out. Maybe some more club members will drag along, but I do have one more member in. Hold on. I know what I'm doing here. I'm still figuring out my dang phone. Hey, Alan. Good to have
how's
Alan
it going? Good.
Good.
I'm just hanging out. So I was really looking forward to the weekend. It's been one of those weeks too. So it's good to hang out. Just babble about comics.
Yeah, we're going to talk about. I think that before we show some signatures, I was thinking about this before we did the stream, or I started today. It's like, okay, comic book characters that are first appearances or anything that you kind of need two to say you have one. Like, okay.
Yeah. No, like Hulk 180 and 181, right?
Exactly. Or even Hulk 1 and Hulk 2.
That's true, actually, because it's the Green Hulk versus the Gray Hulk.
Right.
Yeah, that's actually a good one. Another one that I was thinking is Galactus, where it's like you get sort of like, he's sort of in 48. He's actually shown on two panels, like is like the big contraption-y thing, right? And then he doesn't really make a full appearance. Like he makes his full appearance in 49. So.
Yeah, that's a great example. 48, to me, it seems to be about twice as important as 49, but if you really want to say you have the first full Galactus, you got to get 49. I mean, you can't just get 48. You got to get 49 too.
So for me, like another kind of thing where you have to have the two books is when the character makes their first appearance and they might be fully in the book and all that kind of stuff, but they're not on the cover. Do you know what I mean? It's like, so you get a slab of it, especially. It's like the worst. It's like you got a slab, you can't see that character, but it's the first appearance, but you can't see it. So you have to get that first cover appearance. A good example of that is here. I want to show one book. Here.
No, throw whatever you want. We can have examples.
So this book is a first cover appearance. So yeah.
Phantom Lady or Gold Phantom or?
No, Black Canary.
Black Canary, okay.
So yeah, this is her first cover appearance. She actually makes her first appearance a few issues earlier, but it's like a dinosaur cover. It's like a Flash with a dinosaur. So this is it's kind of similar to Detective 38, where they have the thing and the character jumps through.
It is. Yeah. That's very, very similar. That's like Zatanna even. Like, isn't her first like Hawkman 4 or something?
Yeah. Zatanna is the same way. Where, her in Hawkman 4, and then she actually her first cover appearance is really messed up. It's like just like a little head.
Yeah, and it's on a Hawkman and Atom issue.
Yeah. And it's like she's just wearing a top hat, and you see just her head.
That's it. Well, I don't know if we brought up. Let's get to Matt Atkinson's, and he's got a great example. Superman, Man of Steel 17 and 18. He's talking about the one where it's got all them creatures reaching up to Superman, I think, and then the full cover appearance of Doomsday on the front on 18 is what I believe he's talking about, and that's a great example. For me, what I want to bring up is Forever People #1 and Jimmy Olsen 134.
I was just thinking about that when you said Doomsday. It made me think of Darkseid.
Yeah, Darkseid's a great example because I don't know. You know what I think plays the factor too, Alan, is like really, really good cover art. So people love Jack Kirby cover art, of course, but Like that Jimmy Olsen 134 is a really
Yeah,
good
it's got
Neil
a
Adams
really
cover.
great, you know, Batman, not Superman being kind of carried out as if he's dead, right?
Yeah.
But Darkseid in that, have you looked through the comic? Have you looked at what Darkseid is in that book?
I read the pages, or I counted the pages. I don't remember reading the whole story. I wish I had a
Okay,
facsimile or reprint.
so they're talking about, oh, this you know, big menace that's coming, right? And then in the background, okay, in the background, you know how they have like TVs sometimes like in the windows of stores and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's in the TV, so in the
Oh
background.
yeah, no, I've seen that. Yeah, I know what you're
And
talking
it's like
about.
his head is like this big. It's like
Yeah.
it's like half an inch, you know. And that's it. And he's in black and white pencil, really not much detail.
Right.
And that's the first appearance in.
Well,
you know.
that makes me think of that people say that's one of the weakest cameos or first appearances, and then MODOK is just the words being emitted. It just says MODOK. It's not even a picture, and people count
He's
that
on
as
the
a
cover
cameo
of his first appearance.
No, yeah, he's on the real first appearance. I know exactly what you're talking about. I think it's Tells 98 or something. But what I'm telling you is there's an issue before it where it's the cameo of in his first appearance, but they're just saying the word MODOK.
Oh, they don't even show him. They just say MODOK.
Nothing. They just say the word, yes. And it might even have the whatchamacallit.
You know, Hulk, okay? I forgot what issue it is, but there's some comic that came out before Hulk 1, and they keep on, like, they write all in the margins in this other comic, the Hulk is coming. Beware the Hulk. You know, it's like all these like kind of like, and it's all through this comic where there's like sort of promoting the fact that Hulk is coming out in the future.
You won't believe who's about to come on panel.
Okay, who is it?
Well, he's only been on your channel.
Is he Steven?
No.
Pocket?
Who?
No, I just had Pocket full of comics on my channel. Just
I don't know Pocket. Yeah. All right. I'm just gonna bring him in. What up, Geek Aficionado? Good to see you, big dog. No, we got Big Matt, man.
Oh, hey, Matt.
Heck yeah.
Sorry, I'm new at this. I'm just getting this all sort of set up here.
Matt did a live interview with me, like I mean live meaning in person. Like
it might have been my favorite video of the year this year. I love that video. That's one of my favorites.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you, Matt.
Yeah, we can hear you.
This is the first time I've used I've had this laptop for 7 years. This is the first time I've used the camera with my face on it.
Oh, it seems to be working well for a 7-year-old laptop. Yeah.
So yeah,
we're talking about. You've been watching what we're talking about because you gave an example of it, right, Matt?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any more?
There's Gambit too. Well, there's Gambit too, isn't there?
Exactly.
Oh, Gambit's a messed up one. That was like a release date issue, where they meant the one that everyone collects to be his first appearance, but the annual got released earlier by accident.
And you could technically make the when was Luther's first cover appearance? Because we've had this argument about Luther before.
So he made his first appearance in Action, but it's one where he's like going through a brick wall.
Right.
I forgot what issue number it is. It's like, I want to say 30 something, 38 or something like that. Like, you'd have to look it up, but it's like
it's actually later. It is pretty later, I believe.
Yeah.
The real first full. I think there's an earlier version, but it's not. It's just people say it's the first Lex Luthor. It's the one where like, isn't there like 2 towers or something?
Okay, the 2 pillars. It's pillars.
Yeah.
And that's not Lex Luthor. That's just
that's not. But some people argue and say it is, though, right, Alan? Some people will say
a lot of people think it is because he's bald, but Lex Luthor wasn't.
But Lex ended up bald because somebody got confused about one of the henchmen. I was reading the story. Like the person, I think it was Stan Kay and Wayne Boring did it after Joe Shuster did the first Luthor with red hair.
Yeah.
And then the next one of the behind of the scenes guys screwed up on the next story and put in the bald guy because he got the henchman confused. Joe Shuster liked it though because apparently he loved drawing bald villains.
Okay, well then it worked.
Yeah.
All right, so I think we've gave about every halfway decent first appearance that you need 2 books to kind of say you have the real
there's
first
like
appearance.
a whole bunch actually.
Well,
There's a
ton
bunch,
of them,
but
especially in the 70s.
There's let me get one out real quick. The Dark Justice League. There's 2 books for Swamp Thing, and that one, the first team appearance though.
Yeah,
the first team appearance.
The first team appearance is actually, I think, 3 books that you have to get for.
It might be
Justice
3,
League
yeah.
Dark. It's really messed up. It's like it's all over the place.
I think that's
there
the
were
same
a lot
Doomsday.
of
There's more
villains
than 2
too.
for Doomsday. There's 3 too, I think. Ain't there? There's another Doomsday book. Am I crazy? I'm probably crazy. Never mind. Forget I said that.
No, there is another Doomsday book.
You guys admit to have the first.
I'd have to
Action
think about it.
23 is first Luthor. What was you saying, Matt? I'm sorry, I jumped in front of you.
There's a lot
Action
of villains
23 is
too.
not the first Luthor, by the way. That's wrong. I can tell you
Right,
now.
that's what people say it is,
Well,
but
okay.
it ain't.
It's actually
Here's the
Superman
lie. The
4.
final thing. I've looked it up.
4. Go
DC
ahead.
intended Action 23 to be the first appearance. Chronologically, it's the first appearance in the story. They say read that one first, then read the other one. But in terms of actual release, the other one, I think it's Action 4, is the first
Superman
appearance
4. Superman
chronologically released.
Yeah, Superman 4.
Sandman too, isn't that another one where everybody fights over the first date?
Yeah. So Sandman appeared in New York World's Fair 1939 first. And then there's Detective I forgot what issue it is.
Yeah.
It's like Detective something where he appears like on the cover. It's a really great cover appearance, but that's his first cover appearance, not his first actual appearance.
I can't think of a book. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm kind of hitting. I mean, if you're going to Golden Age, you could be here all night probably.
But even modern, there's lots.
No, modern
70s.
The 70s
Modern,
had so
okay.
many.
So, of course, we should probably bring up the Black Suit Spider-Man because there's 70 to 100 first Black Suit Spider-Man, right?
Yeah, and Venom is another crazy one, right?
Yeah. It's always about, like, Marvel, especially in the 70s, was bad about the last panel of a book is so-and-so, and then the next issue, especially with the villains.
Well, that happened with Venom. It happened with Wolverine. It happened with a bunch of them where the last panel is like showing this villain guy is coming in the next issue.
I'm trying to remember. There was one I read not too long ago where that was the situation, and I'm just trying to think. Trying to remember if it was Defenders or if it was Marvel 2-in-1, but it was one where, like, you know, another big guy was I can't even remember the sorry. I've read a lot of comics this week.
There is a lot of team ups. You're right. There's a lot of team up first appearances that are a little combined. You could go Hellboy. You could say the indies are really interesting. Savage Dragon.
Oh, there you go, Damian Hellstrom, because he did a one-panel appearance at the end of Ghost Rider 1, and then his first full appearance was Ghost Rider 2.
Ghost Rider 2, yeah.
That's a good point. That's a good one, yeah.
That's who I was reading a lot of.
I think it was Hellstrom. It's just his hand, I believe. That's in Ghost Rider 1.
Yeah, it's not even a full appearance. It's like the Dark Side thing where it's just really like this little.
Yeah. Yeah, that Dark Side one is the most annoying one.
And actually, I think it takes 3 appearances before you see Dark Side in his fullest. I think the second one was another
the second
sort of
issue
cameo.
is the first cover. Yeah, the second New Gods is the first cover appearance, or Forever People, right?
Forever People is not on the cover.
Yeah, how the hell hold on, slow down. So let's think about this for a second. Okay. So Jimmy Olsen 134 was
his first cameo.
Yeah, it was the first little splice, okay. And then it goes Forever People 2 for like his first, or Forever People 1.
People 1, yeah.
is the first full, and then his first cover is where?
It's in another book. I have it actually. I just
it's in
looked at
New
it
Gods
just 2 seconds.
2.
I think
Is it
New
New-
Gods 2 is right.
Yes,
it New Gods 2?
Gods 2. Yeah, it's not Forever People 2. It's not Jimmy Olsen 135.
Yeah, no, it's New Gods
New
because
Gods
New
number
Gods is
2.
the Orion book.
Isn't it? Is it the one? I know what the cover looks like. He's in the window in the background on the cover.
I think so.
I think it's New Gods because that's the Orion book, and Orion being his son.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How
I
weird
have
is
it
that?
actually. I
No, I have it
actually
too.
was
It's a great
just-
book. It's super cheap.
Yeah, it's underrated considering it is his first cover.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, it's
again,
probably
it
the
loses.
third one, too.
Everybody's decided Jimmy Olsen 134 is the one to get, right? So,
But for me, because I like graded books. I'm weird that way. I like having them in the slabs. So for me, I think it's really important to have that first cover appearance. You know what I mean? Because if it's in a slab, you can't flip through it to see the first appearance, right? You have to actually, see. It's nice to see it, right?
Yeah, it's we brought this up earlier, and a lot of times it's because, like I was saying, with Jimmy Olsen 134 is a better cover. I think that the Hulk 180, 181 is a big argument for that, because 180 he's in it a little bit more than an average just first cameo, but that first full appearance cover is so much better, and collectors tend to gravitate towards it, I think, and that's why it's possibly worth more money.
Yeah,
why is
it's
it
sort of like
180?
the Scarecrow is a good example of that. The Scarecrow.
could you imagine?
The
The
Golden
Scarecrow
Age.
only had 2 appearances, though, right? In
Two
the Golden
appearances
Age?
in the Golden Age. One was in the World's Finest 4. I think that's where he makes his first.
World's
appearance.
Finest
you're
3
right.
was his first.
3 or 4.
Oh, three. I
Yeah.
was trying to remember the number. It's like
Yeah.
No,
I knew it
that's
was
close.
early.
Yeah.
So 3, and they're playing baseball on the cover. Okay.
Yes.
And then he appears later, I believe, in Detective, right?
And a really
it's like-
great cover.
I think it's like Detective.
That was his cover. I think that was his first cover appearance because
Yeah.
Silver Age was his second cover appearance and 3rd overall.
Yep.
And if I remember correctly, Two-Face didn't show up in the Silver Age at all either.
Yeah, he sort of was.
Oh, you mean the Golden Age?
No, Silver. He appeared in the Bronze
Two-Face
Age.
showed
again.
up in the
He
silver.
reappeared in Neil Adams brought him back, I think.
Bronze
right?
Age. That was
In the
Bronze Age.
What are you
He
talking
didn't appear
about?
in the Silver
Two-Face?
Age at all.
Yeah.
There was
I
no
thought that was
Silver
at least a
Age
15th
Two-Face.
center. Get the hell out of here. I don't have a phone to look it up, but I have to take your word for it. I thought that he was on that weird cover with like a battleship.
I can grab
and
it. I
has-
have the first.
Well, it must be like 1970 or something then, right?
I think it was
72,
like
I
72.
think. Yeah.
That's what I thought
Okay.
too. 72. I was like, we sort of said something.
I don't have the extended knowledge that Alan does, but I mean, when it comes to DC, I do know a little more.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
probably more
shit.
knowledgeable, actually. He's probably more knowledgeable than me on certain books.
I think we all got our strengths. We all can say we have some things we might know a little bit more, but it's refreshing to hear somebody say I know something better than you. I love that shit.
One sec here, I'm grabbing something.
I could tell by Matt's interview on his stream with Alan that he did know quite a bit about Superman stuff. Or Justice
Superman's
League.
what I mostly collect. Biggie, I've got I've got a copy of every post-crisis Superman book of the regular issues, like all of Superman, all the Adventures of Superman, all the Superman, Man of Steel, all the action. My action run starts at 326.
Yeah, I know guys that like Legion of Superheroes, like they're experts. at
Yeah,
that.
I've got most of the Legion from Superboy and the Legion, and I'm 8 books away from finishing their adventure run, like a 300 to 380.
Biggie, if
All
you
right.
make me big, I can show something.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the one I was talking
that's
about. Yeah, I thought
That's
that
it.
might
That's
have
the
been
first
Silver
Silver
Age.
Age book.
So you'll see it's a 25 center.
Oh,
Yeah.
the fucking butt. No, but them 25 centers is probably an oversized, Alan.
Well, Yeah, it is. It
It's
is a
still
bigger book.
1970s. It's still early.
I'm
early
guessing it's
70s.
a 70 book. It looks like it came out in the 15-cent era, maybe 12.
It was. I think the month of my birth. I think it was October 71 that they went from the 15 centers to the big 25 centers, and then back down later.
Yeah, that's way before 20-cent age, dude. I could tell just by looking at it.
Yeah, this is early 70s.
Yeah, that's it,
Neil
bro.
Adams is like early 70s, right?
I've never had that book in hand, so I just assumed it was a Silver Age.
Because like he did this is his first major one, right?
What
are you talking about? Neil Adams' first? I don't know what his
Neil
first
Adams.
cover. I think it's actually a Tech as his first cover art.
Actually, it wasn't Neil Adams' first art for Batman 200?
No, that was for Batman.
You're right.
You're right. Okay.
Yeah,
no, you're right about that too.
Yeah, you're right. But this is like,
and that would have been 1969 because Neil Adams was primarily only doing covers until 68. This is
even earlier, right? So
that one's even earlier.
I was gonna say, I was thinking what I got mixed up in my mind is
20 centers or what they was after they brought the book down from 25 cents and the big 52 pagers, they brought it down and became 20 cents.
This is where they basically
made Joker
rewrote
the
Joker
type.
Basically,
right.
Yeah. The new version
of the Joker. It's a nostalgic cover, very nostalgic cover. We're doing signatures tonight, and I had one thing that nobody's seen. I don't think.
I'll be right back, guys.
I have a question for you, Biggie. I don't really have access to dig up my signature books, but I have a bunch of signed actor things on my wall from Comic Con.
Yeah, anything memorabilia would be cool. Hell yeah.
Okay, great.
So check this out, guys. We got this. I think we got this from a Goodwill, or we might have got it from a friend, but supposedly it's really signed by Pete Rose. It says, I don't want to wash it or do anything. I don't know how to keep this exactly, but you can see right there it says, good luck or something. Oh, let me see what it says. Yeah, I think it says good something. But it's a Pete Rose shirt. And I think it's really cool. It's got a fake signature down there. Switch hitter, one of the greatest baseball players to ever play baseball. I live in Ohio, and I got one more piece.
So you're near Cincinnati or just?
I live in Portsmouth. I live in southern Ohio, but I have been to a couple
I remember
I'm
a big baseball fan, and I remember the half season Pete Rose spent in Montreal. I watched quite a few of those games.
Yeah, he really, I mean, if you think about it.
Got his 4,000th hit in Montreal as an Expo.
Hitting is the most important part of the game. Is everybody thinks of the home run hitters, you know?
No, get on base and get it across.
Yep. I feel like if you're the best hitter, you get the most hits, you're probably the greatest batter, too. You don't have to just hit home runs. Just hitting the ball is tough enough. So I have a Shaquille O'Neal autographed basketball. I might pull it out if I get like tempted, but I got my Hogan autographed poster up there from somebody who was in the chat earlier, 90 MF Comics. But thanks again, 90.
Being in Ottawa, we don't have a lot of major league teams. We just got the National Hockey League team, and I have a few Senator players, but other than that, we don't get a lot of sports here.
So I keep the certificate. I didn't have a certificate with that Pete Rose shirt. I got a certificate with the boot, though. And I keep it in the boot. And I got this from a guy on YouTube now. He makes fantastic content, Dope Comics.
Oh yeah, Dope Comics is good.
And it's a Hulk Hogan
those are really
boot.
Cool. Are those actually Hulk Hogan's?
Yeah. Well, I don't think they're actually his, but they're made to look like his, you know. I don't think he wore them specifically.
Oh, okay.
But it is a Hulk Hogan boot.
Oh, that's very cool.
That's cool as hell.
I got one in my hand right now if you want to make me big.
Yeah, sure.
This one is comic related. This is Tom Welling. Played Clark Kent on Smallville. Yeah. He came to Ottawa Comic Con the year before the COVID virus hit and everything got canceled. And all I can say is this man is really, really tall. and and I got to have a conversation with him about Christopher Reeve, because he got to meet Christopher Reeve because Christopher Reeve was on Smallville for a couple of episodes. So he gave me a bit of the scoop on him, and I just thought that was cool to get to hear stories about him.
Yeah.
Very
cool. Let's see what you got, Alan.
Well, I was just going through like my Batman books. Like so I have like
Yeah, that's the first
See-Through Man.
Star Spangled Banner Man or Hollow Bones
See-Through
Man.
See-Through Man.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think he ever came back. Didn't he die at the end of that story?
Probably.
That's one of the ones. That's one of the books I got from my uncle when I was talking about your. I've read that one a few times.
Ra's al Ghul. So how early did you get your first Batman appearances when you got back into collecting? That book got popular recently.
This is the Reaper.
Yeah, is that the first Reaper?
Yeah, first Reaper.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's a very good one. Yeah.
And then this is the first mention of Arkham Hospital.
Yeah, or Arkham Asylum, right?
Yeah, they actually refer to it as hospital, but in the.
You know, I'll tell you one that confused me a little bit was the book that Steppo showed when he said that was the first Fortress of Solitude. I believe it is.
But it's not called the Fortress of Solitude. That's the difference.
There was another book that was also that claims that. Now that we were on that topic earlier.
I have the other one where it's like it's Superman with a giant key flying towards a mountain.
That's right.
And that's the first Fortress of Solitude where it's called Fortress of Solitude.
Ain't that weird though? Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. And here's some books that I'm going to trade with Bigby.
Okay.
This is the first.
What's
the guy's name?
Gil Kane?
No. What's the guy's name who is played by William Dafoe?
William Dafoe.
In the Aquaman movie.
Oh, you got me, dude.
It's like that guy.
Okay.
Right? You're not talking Momoa. You're talking.
William Dafoe.
That looks like Adam. That looks like
Adam. William Dafoe was Volko.
Volko. I think this is the first appearance of
Volko. Oh, Aquaman and Adam. Got it.
Yeah. And then that's actually Brave and the Bold, but yeah. I'm not sure what this is, but
I know what that is. That's the shit. What is that one, Matt? Don't
I want to say the Forger or Forge.
It's like a team, I think.
Oh, maybe. I'm not sure.
It's the first Enforcer or some shit. Yeah, it's some weird.
I haven't read all my X-Men, so I'm a little bit.
I got cool
bondage cover. So yeah, okay, go ahead. You can show somebody else. I just grabbed some random things.
I managed to find some other comic related stuff, but I can't find my books right now. They're just so. As you can see, the everything's out of order. So
I've been getting books left and right lately, man. I might not have them all set up, but here, I'll show you some books I got.
This is a Supergirl print. It's a Neil Adams, and I got it signed here at the bottom. It's right here.
Yeah.
I've been meaning to get that on the wall, but I've never gotten around to frame. This here is a poster of Superman 199 signed by Jim Shooter.
That's legit.
Got that done here too. And here's one by Mike Grell of Princess Leia that he signed to my son and I, as my son's a big Princess Leia fan as well.
Very nice.
Yeah. Okay, someone else can
Star Wars. Okay, here I come. So you guys know how much of a Kubert fan I am.
Okay.
I don't have any Joe Kubert SIGs, but I did get some books.
I got a bunch of Neil Adams stuff I can show if you need, like signature books.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I got one Neil Adams SIG. I do have one Neil Adams. So I watched the newest X-Men episode, and it was pretty good. The last episode or the last frame of it, it didn't show animation. It just showed a picture, so I was a little disappointed in that because everybody brags about how good the
Animation
like,
is? Yeah.
yeah, and they just showed us like a still frame of the last thing. It's just like, what? Anyways, Mr. Sinister got his ass
Mr.
whooped in
Sinister.
that. Yeah, there's a
That's
cover.
well, that goes with what you were saying. That's the cover where the first appearance is earlier, right?
Yep, the first appearance don't have him on the cover.
They actually just came out this week with a Walt Disney homage to the first appearance of sorry, I'm thinking of Havoc actually. Sorry.
Oh, you're right. What up, Pocan? So if you ain't doing nothing, you can hop in. We're just talking signatures and having a normal collector club. But this is a Jerry Lewis 114. I don't know who did the cover art, but I've had a few
that's
of
really
these.
Cute. Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah, he's got his foot in a Venus
That's a neat
flytrap.
cover.
Yeah, that's really nice. I like those Jerry Lewis ones. They have a lot of good girl art covers.
You know, Jerry Lewis books are actually becoming. I've heard that they're becoming one of the next new things because people are discovering how funny the books are.
Oh, okay.
I have a better version of the Little Shop of Horror cover with Jerry Lewis. I've had it in the past. This one's pretty good, but there's another one too I like a little bit better. This is a 25-cent Unknown Soldier Joe Kubert cover. And I'm running out 20 cents to get. I'll show you a few. I did get a couple recently, but and then who did this cover? Was this Romita Senior? I guess.
Looks like John Marita.
Yeah, I love that. So here's some more. Oh shit! I have the book with the example we're talking about. Here's another Joe Kubert. 25 center.
That's cool.
25 centers are cool. This one's a really good one. Got the face mask. Yeah. So here's the first appearance of Mr. Sinister.
That's the one I was thinking about, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good book.
So you kind of need two to go with one, like we were saying.
Yeah.
You kind of need both of those.
Who did the cover for the Wolverine there? Of the Mr. Sinister there, the one with Wolverine. That one I particularly like.
You don't have it?
Oh, yeah.
No, I don't have it.
Who did do that? I would guess maybe 221. I have no idea.
I don't really have a lot of Marvel.
That's the first Neil Adams.
Yeah, that's a good
first Neil Adams on Batman. Yeah, Tech was the actual real first one. Oh, here's a nice 20 cent. I mean, it ain't nothing special, but it is a first appearance. So if this stuff ever did come out, I like books like this. The first appearance of the Head, I think, is what they call them. Mr. Miracle number 10. It's like a high grade copy, super high grade, and I just love those 20 cent headers. DC. So I actually spent a little bit. I spent too much money on that. I probably spent $6, but I'm a sucker. Did y'all see this come out this week? This is an homage.
But you got it like a whole bunch of. Is that a whole bunch of signatures on it?
No, it's just Venomized like stuff on it.
It looked like signatures.
No. Yeah, it's just an homage to the Craven Hunt, right?
Yeah, the Last Hunt.
I would love to get that Craven Hunt issue like that. All right, so. Let's see. The new Deadpool came out. It was fantastic. Really fun.
So when does the movie come out?
I have no idea.
I think it's supposed to be.
Is it July?
July. Just a
second. Here's a nice
that.
Superboy, Kurt Swan. I believe that's Kurt Swan. Some good
early
12-cent
Silver
action.
Age.
What up, John? Good to see John.
July 26th, 2024.
July 26th? Oh,
yeah.
Got some more weight to go.
Oh, you had some Neil Adams stuff you said, Alan. That's right.
Oh, yeah. So, I was wondering, where did I put it? So we got, this is the first, John Stewart. Yeah. And signed Neil Adams right there.
Oh, I was asking you earlier, how early in your collecting, when you got back into collecting, did you get all your Batman keys? Because I feel like you got them pretty early.
Yeah. So I think I had pretty much all the bronze and like copper and silver age keys by 2020. So from about 2016 to 2020, I pretty much grabbed them all at that time period. And then in 2020, I sort of switched over to more golden age stuff.
Is your
and then going for the really big books at that time?
Is your 181 complete? Do you have the pinup in it?
For like
Poison Ivy?
Yeah. I actually had 2 copies actually, but the second copy didn't have the pinup or cover. Actually, I got it for free, but somebody threw it in for free. Actually, it didn't. It was a coverless, missing the pinup copy. But my my 181 has the actual. It's the full book. I'd have to find it. I could show it to you. But this is one that Steven gave me.
Excuse me.
It's the 9/8 Mr. Miracle. Sketch cover, Wizard World, Portland, 2013 exclusive.
Wow.
So, and white paper.
I didn't know he gave you that one. I didn't even know he gave you a book. I just knew he gave you a toy.
Yeah, he gave me a bunch of things actually.
Nice.
Pretty nice to me. Actually, I have a box next to me of stuff that I'm sending his way. Finally, I'm actually repaying some of the. I did send him a shirt, but...
Is this going to be your first AOK you sent out?
No, I've sent out other AOKs, but I don't really send out many AOKs. I'm kind of weird. I don't like to send unless I have dupes of things, and most of my dupes aren't worth really sending out. But this is another cool one. This is the first appearance of ElfQuest. Fantasy Quarterly #1.
Is that the Aerosol version?
Yeah. It's the independent publishing syndicate version, actually.
Is that signed by the
I think the Aerosol
version
their names is like a second printing, like later issues.
Yeah.
This is the first.
What's the people's name that signed it?
Wendy Pinney and what's the guy's name? I forgot the guy's name. Richard Pinney.
Yeah, they're brother and sister, right?
No, husband wife.
Oh, husband wife.
Yeah, she was actually a big major cosplayer. She was kind of a sexy girl.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I remember reading that once, yeah.
Yeah. So very interesting story behind it. Like they really it was really her that created the whole thing. And he kind of supported her. Like he supported her vision that, she wanted to do it a certain way, and it was very different than the way that, she kind of mixed like anime style with Western style comics, and that was not considered cool at the time. So people were like, nobody wanted to publish it basically, and so they had to do it kind of on their own. So, but yeah, it was a bit of a challenge for them, but they were trying to make an ElfQuest movie for the longest time as well.
Oh, wow.
I remember that. They were talking about filming it here, actually, at one point.
And this
What's
is
that?
Stabity Bunny.
Go ahead, Alan.
Sorry, this is a signature series by CBCS, where it's got the weird red label.
Oh, I like those. Yeah, those are cool.
But it kind of works for this book, particularly because it's kind of a reddish cover anyways. Like, it's got the...
Yeah, color-wise, it works really nice.
For that one.
I personally think that books that are just red, white, and black are really cool looking.
One sec here.
Me too.
We're gonna grab. Okay, I can. I'm trying to find. Oh yes. So I just wanted to find one more, and then I'll show more later. But this one has like all the creators that signed for the very first appearance of Beavis and Butthead.
Oh, nice.
And it's a 9/8. So this is one of those weird ones. Like probably now with CGC getting the verified signatures, like I would have gotten a gold label, but the old styles you get like a green label if it's signed. So it's got 3 names on the cover and marker, it says, and that's why it's a green label. But it also has like it's a flip book on the back. You get that?
Oh.
Isn't that weird?
That is a little weird. I've never had that one.
Wasn't a lot of Marvel Comics Presents flip books in the second half of the series?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that, but
Yeah. Well, what
but
I
it's
was
that-
saying is I've always had the Marvel Age first appearance. I never had that
Mm.
one. I had the Marvel Age one.
yeah. So so those are some of my signatures. I have a bunch more I can show, but I'll show that later. You can switch out.
I was going to say now. I was going to say something. What was we talking about? Oh well. I think it's cool that this is. You got this reprint, Alan?
Do I have that reprint? Yes, I picked it
Yeah.
up.
So you could. Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. You got the first appearance and the reprint of that bad boy, huh?
Yeah, I love that book.
That's pretty good.
Actually, I tried to bid like a long time ago. I tried to bid on a 0.5 raw copy, like it was like incomplete raw, and it went for $11,000. It's insane.
Oh my gosh.
For
I
like
felt like
incomplete, and it was really rough looking. I was like, okay. I actually went as high as 8,000, and it just kept on going. And I was like, okay, I'm done.
yeah, this has multiple stories if anybody's never read it. And at one point in there, I think my favorite one is the jungle one. And you have this guy just going around fighting people in the jungle. It's what is this? Cliff Crosby.
Okay. Yeah, they were more anthology back then. Like,
Well, that's what personally I love the anthology idea. I love the idea of different features in books.
It was Superman 1 that changed that whole philosophy.
Yeah. And followed by Wiz. I think Wiz Comics at one point went all Captain Marvel
Captain
before.
Marvel, yeah.
Yeah, and you think of First Robin, but you don't think of stories like this on the inside. Like this is some pretty Tarzan, jungle-ish kind of weird thing going.
What does the first Robin story look like?
It's
I
right
have
here.
to flip through my book. I should really flip through that.
Well, I've always.
It's exactly what you think it would be because he's jumping out of the circus thing. He's from the circus, so it's a trapeze. Yeah.
And it's his origin, eh?
Yeah, it's just like the modern ones, pretty much.
Well, yeah, it's a great origin. Like
his family's murdered, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they fell from the thing, I would guess. Like that's the original story, ain't it?
But this one was a protection racket as opposed to the many times they've said that Joe Chill was an assassin.
Yeah, right here. You can see it. You can see it specifically. It's like they're doing the flip right here.
And then he's reaching. Something goes wrong.
Yeah, and there they go.
Wow.
So mother, father,
acid on the ropes.
Yep.
Because it was a protection. It was a protection racket. Zuko, right? I think, and as opposed to the story with Joe Chill being hired by Lou Moxon or. Oh, I love the Boris Karloff.
Yeah, I got a really nice copy of a Boris Karloff. I think it's a 12 center, ain't it?
Yeah. Oh, that's a cool.
Is it 15? No, it's a 15 center.
Is the back one the reprint of the Avengers one?
Yeah, it's. I think it's a different story, but it's the homage of it. I wish it was the story. I have a really good facsimile though, but this is a cool homage. I really like it. And then I got a bunch of Byrne stuff, which I don't have to. The only one I kind of have a question about is. I mean, it's just one of the times that FF met. See, I was talking to Bleeker the other day, and he said that the first Avengers FF meeting, or Avengers X-Men meeting, was in a Avengers book. And I started looking into it, and it was actually X-Men 9 was the first. Is that right? Avengers X-Men meeting. Yeah, right?
I thought it was the annual. Or was it 9? Annual? Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. I think you are right. It's 9, yeah.
Yeah, X-Men 9 where it has like the
where
railroad
it's like the split
looking
panel thing. It's like a split panel, right?
And Xavier has like a weird wheelchair. It has like
Like
tracks on it and shit.
yeah. It
Yeah.
looks like a blue weird wheelchair thing, like some. That's
I think this is
interesting.
John Byrne's best era, right? Is his FF?
That looks crazy.
Yeah, John Byrne did better on the FF than he did on Alpha Flight.
Oh, that's a key on the back there, by the way.
He wrote the Alpha
that's a big
Flight
book,
really
yeah.
well, but I found the art little.
That's the first like flame dude or whatever his name is.
The first
Heat Wave.
Heat Wave.
Yeah.
Flame dude. I was like,
I like the
there's
name
some
Flame
good
Dude.
Byrne.
Yeah, Flame
Yeah,
dude.
these are all really high grade.
Oh,
Here's a
that's
nice
nice,
Millie.
Millie.
Very pretty Millie.
I actually really liked the Flash TV series. I like the way that they introduced a lot of the bad guys. I felt that it was annoying though that they killed them off so quickly.
This one's a weird book because it had some of the characters from the first Legion of Killers. What's the story? League of Assassins.
Oh,
League of
yes.
Assassins.
Yeah, some people call this the first League of Assassins, but it's actually another book. But
Yeah, I have the other book.
yeah. This one has some League of Assassins characters and shit in it too, though. So it's kind of
okay.
weird with this one. If you look up,
Well, I'm not
Strange
surprised. Neil
Adventures,
Adams.
215.
Neil Adams pretty much did the Strange Adventures run, except for the first one
Yeah.
of Deadman.
I wish I might have to get a better copy of this book because it is not very nice to have one without a header.
But it strangely works because like where the trade dress at the top, kind of fits in.
Yeah, they're not having it. Here's the third appearance of Zafina. It's not much better than a cover.
The Wizard of Yes. Wasn't he the villain in the end? The main villain that they had to defeat to get Zatara back?
Oh, I don't know.
See, this goes to show how many comics I've read over the years.
Which one are we talking about?
Oh, you've read way more than I have, Matt. So
let me know. I might be able to know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. At the end of that issue?
No, it's the whole storyline. But that was the first appearance of the bad guy of the storyline on that cover.
Okay. Yeah, I believe that. I think this is this a 25 cent? Yeah, Kazar. That's a really good cover. And then some more 20-cent DC, the Jonah Hex. 20 center.
Jonah Hex Jonah Hex was done bad in the sense like they did him bad by making him go to the future after Crisis. They could have just as easily just continued the Western stories and because it was a completely different thing. And now they have him being in Gotham City. Gotham City is in New Jersey if you go by the DC current universe. So not exactly the Wild Wild West.
I mean, why didn't they just leave him in the Wild Wild West? I mean,
I know they've done
Wild West stories right now, though. I mean, what Wild West stories are there? His daughter showed up in a Walmart book. I wish I would have got that book.
Oh, I actually have that Walmart book.
Do you? That's a cool one. I think this is John Byrne too. That's a really good.
Yes, that's a Byrne. That's definitely Byrne.
Yeah. This also has the tattoos in it, the Lake Shore tattoos.
Well, that's good because that's one of the things I think they put in the if you don't have the tattoos, it's not complete. And
yeah, it gets a green label.
And it's the same with the Spider-Man. I think the first appearance of Hobgoblin.
Yeah,
has tattoos in them too.
That's the exact same tattoo kit. That's why I have that book. So I don't have tattoos.
Oh, it's like a good replacement book, like where you can get the tattoos.
Right. I mean, it would be detached, but it'd still be the same thing. It would just be detached tattoos. They can't say the tattoos ain't the tattoos. Like it would make it complete. I would guess.
Well, it would be the same as having a detached centerfold, for example.
Yeah.
As long as it's there and not damaged or used.
It's sort of like most like 3D comics. Like if you have the glasses, like how do they know?
Put them in there.
Like,
they won't know.
Yeah.
They'd have to know the specific type of 3D glass. Yeah, but who knows if they knew that? You just put the glasses in, it probably would work.
Yeah. But,
I mean, people marry stamps, so it's not
Yeah, I don't know.
impossible to marry
When
stamps.
that would get a green label though, because it'd be pretty obvious that the stamp is married.
The only green label, when I was looking for my Hawk 181, Alan,
Mm-hmm.
the only green label,
Copy.
in this specific example, the only green label books I saw that added stamps were the stamps that weren't the right stamp.
Oh my
Now,
goodness.
I never seen it say it was the correct stamp inside of a 181, but I have seen it say like the wrong type of. It would have the Zatanna character, but it would be from a different comic, so they knew. I don't know if they
Okay.
knew. It was kind of weird, but it didn't come up
So,
that much.
I mean, with the stamp, you'd have to imagine it that there's like the stamp, you could probably get that correct, where it's the right character, but the back of it would be
It has
some
to be from
different
a Hawk
panel or something.
181. Yeah, it has to be a Hawk 181. It can't just be the regular stamp. I have
Yeah.
a stamp. It don't match up with the 181.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
'Cause
I'd
it's two
imagine if
things
somebody
that have
sold
to
it
match,
too.
right?
Could you imagine how expensive it would be just to get that stamp? I haven't seen one. I don't know when the last time anybody sold a real Hawk 181 stamp, but that's shit.
I was always wondering if you could find, like, they had these little booklets that you could get, and you could put the stamps inside.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, I
And
haven't
wasn't
looked
it a
that up
mail away or
specifically.
something? Like you would get something for if you collected all the stamps and you could
Yeah,
mail them away?
there was a they had a booklet that if you got all 100 stamps in it, you could send it in, and they would send you either I can't remember if it was a T-shirt or a mini poster book with most of the pictures. I don't remember.
Wow.
I remember reading about it not that long ago,
And
because I was curious about but you still had to collect 100 stamps, and they were in different books over the course of 6 months.
I know. That's my point. Like, imagine though that not many people were able to achieve that.
Yeah, and I would imagine because yeah, I mean, like they put some of the stamps in some of the most obscure of their titles.
Yeah.
To make sure that they would sell. I'm not. Again, my memory's not 100% on this.
No, I remember that. It was something.
But I do remember that you could send away for like 50 cents. You got the little booklet that went with the stamp so that you could send it in.
Mm-hmm.
Because of course they wouldn't give away anything for free. So,
but that'd be like a cool little collectible, right? Either get the full booklet with all the stamps in it.
And yes, people are selling the books of stamps. Most people that collected it kept the book of stamps rather than sending it in.
Yeah, of course, because
Well, I would just buy the book to get the stamp and put it in my 181 if I could, but I haven't seen it.
I would never even cut the stamps out of the book myself. I would not have been that guy then.
But I wonder how much those books go for.
What, the ones without the stamp in it?
No. The books like with all
the collector books. I have
they would be very expensive for those that want it. I would imagine a couple $100 easily.
There's a bunch of books that need stamps. It's like it ain't a 180 needs a stamp. I have a 180 and a 181, and both of them don't have stamps.
There's probably a lot of people doing what you want to do, Biggie, buying the books to fill up the for their other books.
Well, I guess those are the two main ones you want to stamp with. But doesn't Spotlight 5 come with a stamp or something?
Spotlight 5 has a stamp as well.
Right. Wow. So if you think about it, those stamps, if you get like a Hulk 181 without the stamp, it's worth about half.
Yeah.
Right?
Ghost Rider and Wolverine are the big ones where their first appearance are Marvel stamp books.
Oh, it cuts it in half, definitely. Whenever I was going to buy one, you could look up and get one for maybe $1,200-$1,500 on a good day, $1,000, but more than likely, it's easier to get one without a stamp for $1,000. If you're lucky, you can get one for $1,000 without a stamp.
Well, see, I'm a big fan of the Son of Satan, right? To get his first, even the second Ghost Rider 2 is like hundreds of dollars as a result because it's the first full appearance. But you've got basically, Ghost Rider 1, like the amount of money for just to get those. I'm already looking for Supergirls.
I didn't pay that much for my Ghost Rider 2.
Ghost Rider 2 is fairly affordable. You could probably get
that. Well, I looked it up on sorry. I was searching it on eBay, and they were averaging $400.
Really?
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
No, that's
The
I mean,
guys that had them.
I mean, Canadians aren't in America, so maybe the market's a little different. I don't know how much
No,
different
no,
it could
I
be,
bought
but
mine from eBay.
Well,
Like,
I do a search of the entire continent because I'll buy things in the States. I mean, I do
Yeah.
my comic book shop too. My comic
you
shop
could
too.
get an entry level Ghost Rider 1 for $200 these days.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
paid, okay, so I have a 9.0 Ghost Rider 1. I paid
Okay.
200 Canadian for it.
Damn. I got mine for free, but I'd say it's worth about 500, 600 bucks. It's about six,
Or
seven.
just keep looking. I mean, I got the first Matter Eater lad for after shipping $40 Canadian.
Yeah.
Matter
So,
Leader ad. Oh, okay, Leader lad. I know you're talking about.
Matter Eater lad there for
Eater lad.
Sure.
Isn't that a Legion of Superheroes?
It's
character?
a Legion of Superheroes guy, Adventure
yeah.
303. It's the one they made fun of on Peacemaker. So therefore, because he was mentioned, all of a sudden his books went through the roof.
But
and he's already a
you
joke.
You showed me that you picked that up, Matt.
Yeah, I know. I sent you the photo
yeah,
of the book.
You sent me I thought that was cool. That's very cool.
Yeah.
I'm actually, that's one of the books I'm trading for.
I got it from Saskatoon.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's one
so
of the
it
books
was
I'm
Canadian.
trading with Big B.
Yeah, the little books I look at lately are still Doom related. I kind of want that superhero, whatever the fuck it is, with Doom on the cover. I think it's 25 or 23 or something. And I want that FF Annual too, because I have a FF6. Now, there's also FF13, I believe, where he's holding Ant-Man. That's a really good one. But for me, it's like FF Annual 2 or
Wasn't
the superhero.
Supervillain? Didn't Marvel have a supervillains title that Doctor Doom was like the leader for?
Oh yeah, it was team up though, wasn't it? Supervillain team up.
Okay.
Yeah, him and Submariner, I believe, was the first or whatever. But I don't know if he had a supervillain by himself. He might have. He was on the superhero at like issue 20 around there.
Doom is such a interesting character.
Doom. Yeah, he's awesome.
I love the fact that I really like the fact that Dr. Doom is the godfather to the Richards daughter.
Yeah.
And because of that, he has a soft spot for her. And if she asks, he will help the FF.
He's the godfather because they're pretty tight. Like, really, they all were scientists together at the beginning, so they
were all friends, kind of.
Yeah. I know, but the fact that that's what I'm saying, it's just so funny how like I hate the world. Oh, but my goddaughter wants me to save the universe. Okay.
I've seen confirmations of Galactus coming, so that's gotta do something for Galactus books. Also, I've kind of already went through my Galactus phase. Still feeling it. I can't get a first Doom, so I feel like there's a bigger hole to fill in Dr. Doom. Go ahead, Alan. I'm sorry.
Are they the next Fantastic Four movie? They're probably not going to do Doom again. They'll do Galactus and Silver Surfer, right?
Well,
we got a confirmation for a Galactus
Silver Surfer.
Oh, they have a Silver Surfer hired.
Yeah,
they have a Galactus hired too. There's a Galactus actor now.
Okay.
I don't know why they went with the girl first.
They're probably going to just use that for the origin and bring Surfer 2, I guess. Like, it would be her and him. Surfer 1, right?
Yeah.
They'll probably use the Surfer 1 story, the John Buscema, the premiere issue, I would guess. Even though this is a modern character, I would guess they're going to use the original. But who knows? Like I said, I've already filled my Galactus stuff. I don't know if Doom's
that becomes the Silver Surfer. That becomes the Herald, right?
Is that the same girl that was in Surfer 1?
Yeah, that's his girlfriend.
Oh, okay. Girlfriend. Good. So it's just his girlfriend at first, and then she turns into the Surfer later, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Got it.
Herald later.
I don't know if Doom's coming or not, though. But even if he ain't coming, people still know Doom is the head bad and.
Dr. Doom would have to be, I mean, technically he could be anybody behind the thing, but they really need somebody who does a hell of an Eastern European accent.
Yeah.
They can't get away with an American accent for him. They just can't.
You know what I'd really like them to do and they kind of almost did this with Morbius, was if they want to introduce like a character like Doom or some baddie, major baddie, do a solo story about them rather than the heroes.
I think a Doctor Doom movie would be fantastic.
That's what I'm saying. A Doctor Doom movie. Like, and then what you can do is then later have like a Fantastic Four movie where you all of a sudden bring in that character. You kind of lead into it that way.
Could you picture a Lex Luthor movie starring Gene Hackman as an origin movie? I think that would have been great.
Yeah, I actually like Gene Hackman.
I mean, I mean, I have to say, John Cryer played one hell of a Luthor on Supergirl, but Gene Hackman is still the best one.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't. What?
I was going to say, do you guys remember in Deadpool 2, whenever Juggernaut was in front of Deadpool, and Deadpool started saying, "Oh my God, it's Juggernaut, X-Men 212, Thor 120." He was naming off all these comics. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
I love that so much because I didn't know all the books when he said them. I kind of knew what he was talking about, but I went and looked and I'm like, yeah, that's the one. That's
breaking the fourth wall is one of the best parts of the comic book.
Yeah, I think I really like the Deadpool movies.
And they got that idea from Ambush Bug, eh?
Yeah, they also got it from She-Hulk too.
Yeah,
there's a few people that even Minx Plinks people said, or Batmite or yeah. But I hope they do more of that later, and they name off just random comic books in the next Deadpool, and it'll be like it'd be perfect for the collectors because it'd be like, yeah, we gotta get the book now,
Yeah.
It would be funny if Hugh Jackman comes in and like for the first 3 seconds he goes 180 and then he starts doing something 181.
Yeah.
And that would be like a battle or something.
Yeah.
They should fight about which book is which one's the most important, or well, I mean, just do it like Deadpool. Like, I'm such a big fan. I read this comic, that comic, and that comic, but yeah, there's the 180 and 181. It's probably I do think that the cover art has something to do with it, and I do think the 182
as well. Get the full arc.
That's what people say. Yeah, people say 182, right? But I think there's another book that's better than 182 that should be the third for Wolverine. Is GSX.
Well, don't you have GSX?
I do, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, I'd rather have that than the 182 even.
Yeah.
There's a Ghost Rider 1 for Hellstrom, or they say number 2, but that's fine.
Well, his hand does appear in that.
Yeah.
It's his hand. It's like...
It's just a hand, is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
that is not the first Venom, actually.
This is the first Venom, yeah.
99.
That's what people say. Yeah, no,
well, even Todd McFarlane said that's the first Venom.
Yeah, you can't just get 299. You got to get 298, and then you got to get 300. That one's really a pain in the ass. Yeah. 298, 299, 300.
Is there even a raw 300 out there anymore? Because it seems like
it's funny. I had a 300. I got 300 like way back when for like 10 or 20 bucks or something really cheap, and then I sold it because of my wife, and then the price went crazy after that. I couldn't sell the thing for anything. Nobody wanted to buy 300 for the longest time.
Here's a good example of a book that you got to get 2 of. So there's the first Black Knight, but the book before it is also the first Black Knight. Am I wrong? Right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Avengers 47 and 48. 47's like a yellow cover.
Yeah, I picked up both just because of that. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't just have one. You got to have 2. It's so stupid.
It's like, sort of like Him.
Oh, Him is a huge one. Yeah, there's like 3 or 4, ain't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's at least 3.
There's the Cocoon, and then there's like the one before the Cocoon where it's like the origin of the Cocoon-y thing,
Yeah.
So it's like 67, 68, I think is the number.
I don't have the books, but I have the Essential Fantastic Four that has all those stories. So yeah, it's
and then it's like then you have to get like the first warlock, or first him. It's actually where he actually is called him, which is in Thor. And then it's the first warlock. It's like, oh my goodness.
Well, this one's weird because you think of Norman Osborn.
Norman
being
Osborn
like,
book doesn't get love at all. That book
it
is
don't
so
make any
undervalued.
sense. It's like, how is ASM 37 the first Norman Osborn whenever he was in? I got 14 right here somewhere, I think. Yeah, 14. So you can't just have the Norman. You can't, or the first Goblin. You got to get the first Norman Osborn too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's and they're so far apart. It's like 37 and 14. Like, what the hell, dude? That's a big jump.
That's almost 2 years.
Nuts.
Yeah.
It's nuts. So
yeah, it's
there's
weird
a lot
that
of weird books.
they came out as a person later. Usually it's the other way around, right? You
get the person, and then like the last panel of that first appearance is them in costume or whatever.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Norman Osborn is a weird one. And that book is always undervalued as a result, though. It's not as expensive as it should be, considering it is kind of a major key.
It reminds me of that indie Axel and Laser Break or whatever it's called. You know what I'm talking about? The cover reminds me of the indie. It's the same face on it. Axel and Laser Streak or shit. I wish you guys could. You have no idea what I'm talking about. Yeah.
No idea.
This guy's face right here is the same face as the guy from an indie. And this robot kind of looks like him too. Laser, something laser and blah, blah, blah. Someone in the chat might know what I'm talking about. But
so is it like where they ripped it off? Or do they rip
I think they ripped it off from this. This was before that, I would guess.
Oh, okay.
But it looks a lot like this, but yeah, it's just interesting. I remember I didn't know about this book until after I had that book, and it was like an indie from the 80s or something. I had a couple issues of it, and it's a popular character and shit. But and then I saw this, I'm like, shit, that's the same thing. Like this exact same shit. I've got a raw 300 in Near Mint Plus. There's some people out there that got some 300s, yeah.
Well, mine was raw, like my copy. Like I sold it for $50. Like it was it was like a 9.0 probably.
Cool.
Yeah, that was back in the day. That was back in the early 90s.
I'm not a big 90s, I only own one slab Biggie. So I mean, I'm a Mr. Robbie, but then again, I like to read them. So I mean,
yeah.
I know. I mean, there are collectors that buy it, never open the thing, and just throw the book in the box. Well, I'm just saying. But I got into this because I needed the release, the mental.
No, it's good. Release. It's good.
Here's the first.
You.
This is Son of Satan 1. Alan was there when I bought it.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. You picked it up really cheap too.
Yeah, it's got an $18 price tag on it, but I got it for $12. So
does my mic sound bad, guys?
Your mic?
It don't sound good, does it? Yeah, my mic.
It's okay. It's okay.
You're doing. It sounds quite fine here.
Sounds okay.
Oh, good. All right. Well, what was we talking about? Oh, slabs, right? I don't know how much Alan gets a lot more stuff to me, but the way I feel about it is like I have enough stuff that I could read. Like with the key issues, like. If I have a raw copy, I always count pages. If I have a slab copy, I'll try to get a reprint or facsimile, but if I can't, sometimes I look them up. Like Hulk 2, you can't get a facsimile reprint as far as I know. I haven't seen one. They've done a lot of Hulk reprints. I haven't seen a Hulk 2 reprint.
Well, I get that. I get that, and I would buy a slab. Okay, if I was in a position like. At this point in my life, if I'm going to get the Action 252, it's more likely to be a slab than a raw.
Slab, yeah.
Okay, which is fine. But yes, there are facsimile reprints of that out there. Like there was the Silver Age reprint from '92. Like there's a lot of stuff. I have to say it'd be interesting to think. Okay, everybody knows with 252 you've got the first Metallo and the first Supergirl.
Well, and Death of
Does
Metallo,
anybody remember what was in the Congarilla story?
No.
Exactly. So, and that's kind of why I wanted.
I read all my books online. Like I was actually just reading all the FemForce. It's actually quite good. Oh my goodness, that's such a great read.
There's nothing wrong with the way you guys do things. It's just it's not my preferred method. That's all.
No, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know people that crack their slabs and everything. Yeah.
Matt, have you ever read FemForce?
No.
Oh my goodness, so much fun. So much sexy
They're almost
art,
like they're all the ones I've read, Alan. They're all kind of almost you could read them in succession and it keeps up with the story. But they're almost all like one shots too. Like the ones I've had, like you read it, you feel like you got a full story whenever I read one.
So with FemForce, it's sort of it's actually it's like it is like it's an anthology. So what they'll have is they'll have like the main story.
Can you put me off camera for a second, Big?
Yeah, sure.
Or you can hide yourself. Yeah. So what happens is it's an anthology, but there's like the primary story, and then it'll have like a hook, and then it'll go to the next issue will be completing that story arc. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. So I think that's way wide. I've only had like 4 or 5 copies, but it fills out. Yeah.
And then there's other stories but they're quite good. I actually have to organize. Like I really like I like the series. It's quite fun. Bill
There's
Black
some really good
is
keys
the guy
in
that
there
did
too.
it.
Bill Black, he did them all. It felt like there's different artists for that though. Like
he was the main guy though. Bill Black.
Okay.
I am really enjoying.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was saying I know they had that Dave Stevens cover, so there's different cover artists sometimes on FemForce, right? Oh, I'm thinking of DNA
FemForce,
Agent.
That's not FemForce.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. I'm thinking of DNA Agent. Excuse me. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's a different thing.
Matt, the last two current issues of Fantastic Four have been hilarious reads. Like really good reads. I mean, the number 19, which was last month's, was done in the style of like an old noir book, and Susan Storm is like the femme fatale in the red dress.
Oh, really?
Yeah, done very well. And this month's that came out last week, I think. Oh my God, it was just so funny because right now the FF are broke, eh? So they Johnny and Ben are both working at the same grocery store.
Oh man!
Wow!
And it's just hilarious. It's just you know the
are they always fighting with each other?
Yeah, you know how they always bicker and stuff. It's just hilarious. And it's what's hilarious is both of them want to be employee of the month. So both of them are like being like, and the manager's sitting there going, "Oh my God, I have 2 members of the Fantastic Four working for me, and they're trying to be the employee of the month. Oh my God, they're so good."
Wow.
But is he all thinged out in the issue?
Like, yeah, he's the thing.
Oh wow!
Oh, he's the actual thing while he works in the grocery store.
Yes, that's what's hilarious. It's just
so is Johnny Storm the fireman? Or he's in there?
Yeah.
Oh, no, not in the store.
Oh,
not in the store. I hope. Yeah, the whole story.
Well, I was thinking the thing. He would be breaking everything.
Okay, he briefly becomes fire to stop a shoplifter.
Oh man. Wow.
That sounds good though. I'm not mad at that. My favorite.
It was an interesting read because of the interactions.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean, they were all. That's the thing. They were always called Marvel's. Marvel's family, right? First family. And they're very dysfunctional family at that.
Well,
yes, that is true.
I have a topic I'd like to bring up since we are bringing up FF. And I always think about the Kirby era first appearance, the family of FF. That was considered the first Silver Age Marvel book, and some people say the first Silver Age book in comic books, besides Showcase 4. Everybody following me so far?
It's definitely
Okay.
Marvel's.
Yeah.
It's definitely Marvel's first Silver Age book.
Okay.
Is
So,
are you saying Fantastic Four is Marvel's first Silver?
yep, yep. Fantastic Four #1 is Marvel's is
So,
considered
well,
Marvel's version of Showcase 4.
so
Well, it's
yeah,
definitely the beginning of the Marvel Age because that was the beginning of the brand new shared universe.
well, it's also okay. So Fantastic Four #1 is actually the
Okay.
very first Marvel book. It's actually first
Yeah.
book that they ever published as a Marvel title.
I
Yeah.
see. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they did, they did have Marvel as a sub brand earlier, but this was actually the first Marvel as
Well,
a publishing house.
Yeah, I always heard of it as the first Silver Age Marvel book and the first family superhero team.
That is true. They are the first family, so to speak. But you can make an argument too because the Legion had the twins like Lightning Lad and Light Lass. But
Okay.
they were they came out after Fantastic Four.
Well,
And
I always
also-
think of the Marvel family, like like Captain Marvel, like
I
early
mean,
Golden Age
what?
stuff, right?
Oh yes,
Well, Alan-
that's true. That is true. But
Yeah.
aren't only
Oh,
two of them
well, there you
actual
go.
family?
I mean, the kid is theirs.
no,
right?
they're not. I don't even know if any of them are family.
Well, isn't Mary Marvel Billy's twin sister, and that they're the only ones
I don't
actually
think
directly
so.
related?
I didn't think so. I didn't think they were brother and sister.
Because I've seen her called
I
Mary
thought that
Batson.
it was. I thought Captain Marvel Jr. was Captain Marvel's son, and Mary
No,
Marvel.
he's
friend,
their friend.
Friend.
Oh, they're
He
just friends.
saved him
Okay.
from a car crash, like a
Yeah. And
he was hit by a
ironically,
car.
he's the only guy on the planet who can't say his own name.
Yeah, because they'll switch back, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
So, all right. So this is where I'm going with this. It takes me a while to get it out. So FF1, and what Alan said is interesting because out of all them first appearances, like Spider-Man and Hulk, and FF and X-Men and Daredevil, all the Avengers, it was the only 10-cent book, and #2 was also a 10-cent book. So that kind of makes sense. It's the first Silver Age because there was still 10-cent in Silver Age. But
Yeah,
where
the
I'm
first
going with all
Marvel
this.
12-cent book was FF5, I believe.
Oh, okay. No, it would have had to have been 3 because 3 was 12-cent, wasn't it?
I can tell you guys if you really want to
I'm
find
pretty
out.
sure 3 was.
Yes,
1 and
it's either
2 was
3 or
the
5,
only.
but I'm
10.
sure. I thought it was 5.
It might. I think it's 12, but my buddy has
We'll
it 3.
find
I
out.
could
We'll
have
find
swore.
out. I'm gonna.
Yeah. All right. So where I'm going with this is like, okay, forever AF-15 has been the predominant book. At one point years ago, FF1 was the predominant book in like the 60s and 70s or whatever. So ASM now kind of took the lead, and then Hulk now has gotten a lot more popular, and it's probably the second biggest book. Then I would say FF is the third right now. It's by point and by amount of money. So what I'm saying
Daredevil.
is,
I would say Daredevil. Daredevil seems to be really popular. Daredevil 1.
So the first 12 center,
yeah, FF3.
Okay.
FF3 is
Right.
the first 12 center.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
So my thing is right now is I remember saying like Hulk 1 is undervalued and Hulk 1
Yes.
it should be worth more money because there was less of them and it's very important and shit like that. But ever since the virus or whatever in the last 2 or 3 years, I've seen a lot more people buying Hulk 1 than even AF-15s. What do you think of that, Alan?
Sorry,
Do you think that there's more AF-15s or Hulk 1s available now?
AF-15 or Hulk 1?
Yeah, I know that AF-15's
there's
always
way
been predominantly more.
AF-15s. Way more
There's
AF-15s.
But have
Because
you
more
noticed that
people-
there's a lot more Hulk 1s than there used to be, though, right?
Yes,
There's
because
a few more.
people overlooked that book for a long time. AF-15 is the biggie, but a lot of people.
AF-15
Hulk,
there's way more slabs. There's
I
maybe
think
twice
Hulk
as many
didn't
slabs.
really. Yeah, I don't think he got
The
really big until the movies.
The people I know, like on a name-to-name basis,
I wouldn't say that's true. Matt.
Well, okay, he had
the
a big
TV
following.
series in the 70s was huge.
Yes, I was going to say he had a big following then, but I was still young to remember that per se.
I love that show.
That
I'm
show
seen
was
more
younger
okay.
than you.
What? No, I mean, I
I love
watched
that
it
show, and
too.
I'm younger than you.
Yeah, no, I watched the show a couple times, but everybody, I got to remember, most people I know are DC. We weren't Marvel,
Zombies.
like we didn't go buying the Hulk every month. If anything, like, Thor was the one, or the Avengers were the ones we bought.
So
From
I liked the
from
Hulk back then. Like,
from what I've seen though lately on eBay, I just use eBay in my comic shop. I don't know everybody. From people I know on Instagram, I've seen more Hulk ones bought, and I feel like I'm seeing more and more Hulk ones than as opposed to 3 years ago. Now the Hulk one has gotten a
so
premium. There's a lot more people, a lot more movement. And
Yes.
I
I'm
can
starting to
explain that if
feel
you
like
want.
Hulk one should be. I feel like I'm not as confident as Hulk one
Okay,
as I
so
used to be.
I'm giving you guys a bit of inside baseball to my show tomorrow. There's a Hulk one that's going to be on my show tomorrow. So what the idea is this: Hulk one was one of the few Marvel books that did not lose value after COVID.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
But sadly, that has led to it losing value now. It's starting to go down.
I feel like it is going down.
Yeah, it is going down because what's happened is because it's one of the few that didn't lose value, people are trying to bring it to market now.
Yep.
And they're flooding the market.
Flooding it, yep.
I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah. I was actually going to comment about that in my show tomorrow. So.
Yeah, more and more people I know. I can't remember the last time I've seen somebody buy an AF-15, dude. I've seen 5 or 6 people get Hulk 1.
Everywhere I see right now, everybody wants Daredevil 1.
Everybody AF-15 is quite common too.
Yeah.
Daredevil 1 is kind of on a Hulk 181 level though, Matt. Like I could have got Daredevil 1. Like,
possibly, I mean, probably in terms of, but the thing is, everybody with the show coming back, everybody wants it again.
Yeah. Daredevil 1 is kind of a weird one. It's because of when it came out. It came out 64, I believe.
Yeah.
64. So by that point, you got AF-15, you got when the whole Spider-Man craze, you got Fantastic Four, you got X-Men.
You've got Thor's out by then. You've got Iron Man.
So you got a whole bunch of things that have happened that really were creating hype in the early 60s around Marvel characters. And when Daredevil came out, it was like, oh, this is the next big thing. There's like a ton of them on the census. If you look at the census, it's like 6,000 or something insane for Daredevil 1.
I tell you,
just because everybody saved them, thinking that it was going to be the next big thing. And that's why the price never went up.
Here's my Daredevil 1 story. I don't know if this is true. I've heard it a couple times. I think it's true. So the only reason we have an Avengers 1 is because they tried to do a Daredevil 1 and it didn't work out. And they just threw the Avengers team together to get something out there. That's what I heard. So it was right before Daredevil 1 came out. Avengers 1 came out. And if it wasn't for Daredevil, I guess we'd never have an Avengers. I mean, they might have had that plan in the cooking, but that's the story I was told. I feel like Daredevil 1 is the easiest book out of all of those Silver Kirby first appearances. I don't even think that Daredevil 1 is a Kirby cover. Who the hell did that?
I think Avengers was more like
Daredevil 1 is Ditko on the
cover. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I think Avengers 1 is more like what Marvel was trying to do was rip off DC and have like their equivalent of Justice League, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Although I think FF was their because just if you believe the golf story.
Yeah, I know. I heard the golf story.
Then FF would be their answer to Justice League, but the difference is they wanted to have them differently.
I'll tell you another way.
So if you look at Justice League and you look at Fantastic Four, the similarity is really not there.
No, I know. Because you've got a bunch of heroes that just get together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
you've also got with the Justice League, you've got 2 guys who are friends, but the rest of them just get together when the team.
Well, it's also like what I'm thinking more is like Justice League is let's take all our best characters and put them in a team.
Yeah.
And
That's what they
Avengers
did on
was
Avengers.
let's take our best characters, put them in a team.
But
Right.
but they also Justice League was because they were trying to bring back the Justice Society. They were going to
Yes.
call them the Justice Society again until Julius Schwartz said no. Society sounds like a bunch of old guys sitting around with whiskey in their hands.
Yeah, it's
League.
League.
Let's go with the baseball. It's a league of people. It's a team.
Yeah.
It's
I'm a Superman guy, but my problem with Justice League is that Brave and Bold 28 don't have Batman or Superman on the cover. I don't think they're even in the damn
there is a
comic.
reason for that.
I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
that's a sell point for me.
When Brave and the Bold 28 came out, at the time, Superman was in Superman, Action, Adventure,
He was
Superboy, World's
Jimmy
Finest,
Olsen, no.
Superman's Girlfriend,
Yeah.
Superman's Pal.
Lois
That was
Lane,
7
right.
titles. So what they wanted to do was to make the other 5 that weren't Batman and Superman, because Batman was in 3 titles.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the other ones, Aquaman didn't have his own series. Green Lantern hadn't got his own series at that point. It was coming. It came out a month or 2 later, I think.
Aquaman would get a series later.
Aquaman got a series later, but Wonder Woman wasn't selling.
Aquaman was Brave and the Bold 28.
John Jones didn't have his own series.
So Brave and the Bold 28 is the first cover appearance of
Aquaman
Martian Manhunter and Aquaman.
Right.
Especially since Aquaman had been around for almost 20 years at that point. That was amazing.
No, it's crazy.
Well, I think it's the Silver Age first cover appearance. He
No,
wasn't
it's
on
his
any
first
cover?
ever.
No, it's his
Ever.
first cover appearance,
Ever.
period.
Ever.
Aquaman was in More Fun Comics and Adventure Comics for 20
But
years.
never
between
appeared on the
two. He
cover.
never got a cover appearance because More Fun.
They
there
put
was
the
always someone else.
lamest covers on More
Yeah,
Fun.
Yeah.
Wasn't
And then
this
Adventure always had a Superboy cover from the time Superboy joined the magazine until 300.
Yeah.
So wasn't
And he
Aquaman's
was still on the
first
cover
also-
of 300.
It was also Green Arrows too, right? It was Green
Yes,
Arrow
Green
and
Arrow and
Aquaman.
and
But
Speedy.
Green Arrow got covers on Leading Comics and Star Spangled Comics when he was members of the 7 Soldiers of Victory. He was on the cover.
But he also got more fun cover appearances too.
Yes, because Green Arrow was a more popular character than Aquaman.
Yeah.
At that time,
When
maybe,
Aquaman and Green Arrow were together in Adventure Comics, Green Arrow was also in World's Finest. Aquaman joined him there later, but Green Arrow got a lot more stories than Aquaman did.
wow.
As a kid, I liked Aquaman. I really enjoyed the.
Me too.
Justice League.
I thought he didn't suck. Everybody said he sucked on Super Friends. I'm like, I thought he didn't suck.
I always thought he was
Dr.
cool.
Fish is still pretty cool.
They always make fun of the fact that he talks to fish. I actually thought that was cool. Because he could summon them all and they could do cool things. And
listen, if you could live on land and underwater, that is
king of the ocean. Come on, that's
and
awesome.
he's stronger than hell in water. I mean, when he's in water, he's strong
He's
as damn
stronger
near
in hell
Superman.
on land because his body's made denser. His muscles are denser, so he can
That's
live in the
true.
pressure of the water.
Yeah.
There's scientific explanations for everything.
Okay.
If you
All
think-
right. Here's the question though, for you guys specifically. Which one do you like better, Aquaman or Submariner?
Aquaman.
See, I'm a Submariner
Easy.
guy.
Easy.
Well,
It's
I
easy.
think Submariner is superior because he's one of the original Trinities. Like he's from Marvel 1, guys. Like Submariner
Yes,
is a big
I know.
deal, bro.
I mean, but Aquaman's still 1941.
Right.
And
Right.
and the other way I look at it is because Submariner is always got a chip on his shoulder. He's more of an anti-hero than
He's
an
more of
actual
an
villain.
anti-hero in my mind too.
Yeah.
He was more
I
of
just
a
feel like he's just more a little more significant to me. I could see why Aquaman is the more fun, seems like the better choice, but I mean significance.
Like I had never heard of Namor until maybe the 90s.
Really?
Yeah.
Come on.
I never heard of him.
And
I mean,
heard
he was on Winners.
I
he
heard of
had
Submariner.
Atlas, Timely.
But
Submariner.
my collecting was a little bit weird. So I didn't really get into superhero collecting until the 90s. So
Interesting.
And for me, the first time I saw Namor in a comic book was actually when he was married to the woman in Alpha Flight. I never seen him in a comic book before that. I rarely read Marvel.
And yeah, if you think about it, Namor was not a popular title in the 90s even.
No.
Neither one of them were that popular, but
no, they rebooted Aquaman and he got the one arm thing, and that was like,
oh, yes, I've got a few of those issues. But at the same time, Aquaman, you know, like he's got, and part of it is that he had the cartoon where Namor did not.
Exactly.
I knew who Aquaman was before I read comics because I watched.
Well, no, hold on, slow down. There was a Submariner cartoon in the 60s.
I actually only watched.
I never knew that existed until.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even know it existed until 2 years ago.
Oh well.
It was just a Submariner one.
I mean, even Aquaman had a cartoon in the 60s. I make fun of that all the time because I go Tusky the Walrus there.
Mm.
Yeah, it was like Spider-Man, Iron Man, Hulk.
Actually, the Submariner cartoon series wasn't bad. I actually kind of enjoyed it. They always had to dehydrate him somehow to make him weak.
I think Nick Cardy Aquaman covers in the Silver Age are definitely my weak spot. If I'm going to talk about Aquaman, like those are gorgeous books. Don't get me wrong, but I just like
Nick Cardy was the best artist to do Aquaman on a regular basis, but I have to say Ramona Fradon did a great job with him too.
What covers did she do?
She didn't do covers because she had Aquaman before he was on Justice League.
Okay. Because I always think of the Nick Cardy covers.
She didn't do the color. Ramona Fradon's first cover was for Metamorpho.
Oh,
I think if I'm not going to go that route with Aquaman on DC, my second favorite water-based character thing from the Silver Age was Sea Devils with Russ Eve.
Like, I never read it. I know it, but I never read it.
I didn't. I just like the covers. I don't have any of them either. But yeah, man. It's interesting. I got a couple Aquaman guys. It's nothing wrong with that. I like to be different, I guess, but.
Well, you're more of a Marvel guy, anyways, right? Yeah. So.
I like Superman the most. But
I've watched enough of Biggie to know he's actually a pretty big Superman fan.
I love Superman.
Superman is.
Well, yeah. I mean, you have the Brainiac one and all those.
Well, we could do that real quick, okay? So before we go, we'll explain what kind of collector we are. So the way I describe myself as a collector is I'm a pulp culture collector. I'm comic book pulp culture collector. So I don't, even though I have favorite characters, I want to get things that are nostalgic and memorabilia and people Americana, basically. So that's the way I describe myself. I have a lot of Spider-Man is probably my strongest collection. I have more Spider-Man than anything, but you know, Captain America and Superman are absolutely my favorite. Like I would pick those if I could. But go ahead, Alan. What kind of collector do you think you are?
Well, so I like my key appearances. That maybe was the very fundamental way that I collected. I love having the first appearance of some character I've seen on TV or in a movie or whatever. That's primarily where I started. But then I became more of an art collector. I really do like the good girl art. I like the horrific covers of the pre-code horror stuff. I consider myself an art collector. Every so often I'll binge read a bunch of comics and then I'll go back to reverting to being a first appearance collector. I'll be like, okay, I got to find this character's first appearance now. And, it'll send me down rabbit holes of craziness. But, so that's kind of my style. Good girl art. First appearances.
Art. It's interesting you said art specifically. Yeah. I like that. And you brought in the good girl, and that's very significant in the first appearances. I agree. So Matt, I
like books. Like I like reading the books. Like the Super Family. Supergirl is my number one. Supergirl is above and beyond everything. But Superman is a very, very, very close second. Like anything Superman family, I like it. I collect it. I like the Trinity a lot. So I have a lot of Batman and to a smaller extent Wonder Woman, not like Alan's got, but But I also like the second tier superheroes at like the Justice League guys, like the Aquamans and the Martian Manhunters and the Green Arrows, and the Atom. I'm not a big Hawkman guy. If it's the Silver Age one, I like Golden Age.
Golden Age Hawkman a lot.
Yeah, I like Golden Age. I like the Justice Society and the Legion the most out of any groups. Probably the Legion just above the Justice Society. But I mean, the fact is, like, those are my favorites. Like, if there were five things that I go for mostly are Supergirl, Superman, Legion books, Batman books, Wonder Woman books, and Justice Society books.
All DC.
But I mean, for Marvel,
wow.
But for Marvel, I'm like I told Alan, as I said, I'm the other side of Mike Lunch Money Comics. Mm-hmm. He likes DC horror / weird characters, and that's who I like from Marvel. I like the Son of Satans and the Ghost Riders.
Yeah, I was thinking like when you picked up Son of Satan, I was really surprised by that. I was really surprised. I was surprised when you picked up that Son of Satan. I was like, oh, I thought you were a DC guy. And I was like,
I am a DC guy. I mean, but the thing is, everybody gets out of their comfort zone a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a book you want, if it's a character you want, you do it. But one of the reasons I liked Son of Satan was because he married Patsy Walker.
Yeah, I mean, and Patsy Walker is awesome.
She is. I love the Hellcat. I will say that for Marvel. Love the Hellcat. I love the girl who played Patsy Walker, Jennifer Jones there. It was great.
So I'm just having too much fun with you guys, so I got to do one more thing. All right. So Gottag brings up Biggie loves Something Is Killing the Children, and he's poking at me because
Something Is Killing the Children is a great read, by the way.
I know. I'm not a fan.
You know what? I bought the collection of the first 5 issues, and I bought a few single issues later in the run. It didn't catch my interest as much as I was hoping.
Oh, really?
I don't know why. I don't know why, because it on paper it looks like a book I should like. I just didn't, and that's the reason I bought. I can tell you why.
My thing is, I feel like it's a little downplaying on the male characters, and the creator brings in too many of his own beliefs and shit. But that's my opinion. I don't know much about it. I don't read it that much. It just the main characters are chick, so that's enough for me.
I think I only read the first 10 issues, so after that,
well, that's just it. I've only read 8 issues total. I bought 3 and to give it a chance, and then I, not knowing where it was coming from, I bought the trade paperback of the first 5 just to
have it.
So I'll name off some stuff that I don't like, and if y'all want to, you can. But I don't like Something's Killing Children. I don't like what's the dumbass one with the aliens?
The lake?
No, not the lake.
House on the Lake was one I was thinking.
Eric Larson,
Resident Alien?
No. Everybody loves it. It's the one where all the aliens have sex with each other. Nope.
X-Files?
Nope. It's an Image book. They just started doing it again. Help me out, God Tank.
Geiger?
Nope, not Geiger. It was from around the time that, I'm thinking it starts with the S for some reason. Species.
Species sounds sort of right there, but I don't know.
What is the name of this book? Help me out, God Tank. I know you know what I'm talking about. It's the book where it's got like the pregnant chick on the front, and it's like
that's Species.
Yeah.
Is it called Species?
Yeah.
No, this is a more popular book than that, I think.
Species they made a movie of.
No.
They made 2 movies.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me change my audio. We'll figure this out.
You're not talking about Aliens and Predator and all those things, or?
Hold on a second. I don't want to hit that button. I want to hit this button. Okay, so.
Oh, I'm also a big Conan collector.
Are you talking about the blue one? It's something blue.
Saga.
Saga is great.
I know.
I've never read it.
Oh, I really like Saga.
Like Saga. I don't like Saga. I don't like Something is Killing the Children. Those are probably
Saga.
my two books that if I get any of them in my collection, I make sure I get rid of them. So go ahead. Now you can go, Saga. Alan. What don't you like?
Like, really, I haven't been reading the modern stuff lately. I've been kind of gravitating to the older stuff. And so, you know, the only thing with modern books, it's all cover buys for me right now.
Mm-hmm.
I just really haven't gotten into the stories that much. So I guess in general then, but I really do gravitate to the older stuff. So I really do enjoy a lot of the Golden Age books.
No,
I really enjoy the jungle stuff. Oh my goodness, it's so crazy and wild.
The question is, what don't you like, Alan?
Well, that's what I'm saying. The modern books, I don't really enjoy that.
Oh, you don't like the modern books at all? Oh, wow.
I mean, there are a few. You know, there are the exceptions. You know, I actually thought Bunny Mask was interesting, and nobody really got into that. I thought it was cool. I got into like a bunch of like, you know, more obscure ones, but you know, for the general like DC Marvel stuff, hasn't really gotten my interest.
Okay, that's fair. So just
that's why I'm surprised when there's a great book like the last couple of months of Fantastic Four. When there's a good one like the world's Batman Superman World's Finest that's out right now, probably the best book out there. It's got a Silver Age feel to it.
Oh, nice.
I mean,
yeah, actually, I think they tried to do that with the Flash as well.
What?
I heard the Flash is that kind of going that way, where it's got
the Flash did, and then it just went.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. I was actually going to
start Flash, like it got there. They got to issue 800, and then
okay.
Yeah, I'm enjoying all the new stuff that I buy. I don't buy all the typical stuff. Like I
can
don't
tell
get
you
right now, but I like all the stuff that I'm buying.
What I haven't liked that I've read lately was I did not like the Umbrella Academy. I just did not like it. It turned me right off.
Don't do me either. That don't do nothing
for me. Angel, they did an Angel series not too long ago at Boom, and that was a terrible series.
I haven't read any of the Buffy stuff, so I don't know.
Yeah. Well, another thing that I tend to buy and like to read is TV adaptations. But Buffy, I'm a huge fan. Buffy, I've got, when we're talking about the autographs, I got Charisma Carpenter, I've got Eliza Dushku, I've got Felicia Day, I've got James Marsters, I've got Claire Kramer, who played the bad guy, the big bad in season 5. Like, I mean, Buffy's my, you know.
Buffy was an awesome series, but I never got into the comics. But you know what?
The comics were surprisingly good. That's what got me back into it.
Mm-hmm.
I tried Nightwing because people said it was good. I didn't like Nightwing. Don't like it.
Well, you know what? Nightwing lately too is doing this.
Okay.
There's some great stories, and then there's some not so great stories. Like they just had one with the Pirate King's daughter. Ugh, that was garbage. But the fact that he's back with Barbara Gordon, I'm happy about that. Like there's parts I like and there's parts I don't like. But the thing is, I like the character of Dick Grayson so much that I keep buying it.
Yeah. Also, I didn't like any of the new Star Wars stuff, by the way.
That's crap. some of it's crap, but I liked the Darth Vader series.
I didn't read that, so I was reading the New Republic.
Most of the Star Wars, most of the Marvel Star Wars, I'd say that too.
I tell you one that's really pop. All the Transformer stuff, people are swearing by it, and I've skimmed through some, and it feels like the same shit that was on IDW to me. Like IDW did just as good 5 years ago, in my opinion. But nobody.
Actually, I'm picking up GI Joe. It's pretty good.
People like
brought Larry Hama back, so.
Yeah.
I was never a big G.I. Joe fan, tell you the truth.
Yeah, but Alan, that doesn't surprise me because you're not a war book fan.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's why.
And G.I. Joe, primarily is just little wars. Each issue is another mission that it's just
Like,
everybody shoots, and
you know,
you either like it or you hate it.
You know, if I think about what I've read the most, it's Warren magazines. Actually,
Well,
I've pretty much
I
read
love
all the
Warren.
Eries, all the Creepies, all the Vampirellas, all the Blazing Combats, all the famous monsters. You know, that's what I've read the most.
I think they're great books. I always go through my Eries and Creepies whenever I get them. That's one of my first reads when I get home.
I go to every comic show with the intention of getting an Eerie or a Creepy or a Vampirella magazine, and by the time I remember to do it, I'm broke.
If I was to pick a character, I felt like Alan didn't mess with that much or don't have a ton of. I don't know if you guys will agree with me, but I saw you recently with Bigby, and he showed a Captain America Annual 6 or 8 or something, the one with the Wolverine on it, and you said, I don't even know what that is. And I was shocked because Zek is a great artist. I was like, wow, Alan didn't know that one. And I do know that, like, Alan don't have a ton.
I never got into Captain America, actually.
Exactly.
Captain America doesn't have any good girls other than Carter.
Yeah. I mean, I do have, like, some of the keys, right? I picked up all the keys related, but not, again, I like collect keys sometimes when it's like, oh, I like that character, I got to get the book, but then I won't read the book.
And Captain America is something that I'd like to read, but I don't have any of it just because it never crosses. That's the thing is a lot of this stuff is not that I don't like it or hate it necessarily. It just doesn't cross my mind because I've got this list of books that I want to get and I'm going by the list.
You know, it's interesting. Like, I find that I get like that too. Like, I get into these like fads. Like, if you look at my current unboxing,
yeah,
like
you're doing Bill Ward right
I'm
now.
into a Bill Ward like rabbit hole. Like, everything's got some Bill Ward feel to it. Right now I'm collecting all these like little mini comics, the Mighty Midgets.
I saw that.
Midget comics. I'm collecting all those right now. I'm trying to get the complete collection of those. And actually, I found one guy that has all like the highest grade ones on the census. I'm just buying his collection. So yeah, I don't know. I go through these weird little phases, and so when I go to the cons, just like you, Matt, like I get kind of tunnel vision.
Yeah.
Where even like books that I really do love, I might ignore because I'm so focused on, I got to get these ones, you know.
Yeah, when you say you get key books, it's like Spider-Man. Like, you have the big ones, and once you have the big ones, you kind of don't worry about the littler ones.
Well, that just did. I'm at the point now, like, I mean, I'm really trying to finish some runs. Mm-hmm. I mean, you start to feel your age a little, and you start going, if I want to finish this, then I can't get involved with that. So, you know, and you've only got so many resources to go around. You've got to.
I am trying to finish a run too. There's a big run that I'm trying to finish. I'm only 5 books away.
Which run's that?
Lois Lane.
Wow. Yeah. See,
I've got 20 of them. 5 books away. I just picked up a slew of them. That's why.
Yeah. See, I've got only 20 of those, but I bought 4 of them off Alan.
Well, you get all my dupes, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I wish I lived close to Alan. You're so lucky, Matt.
I got to be in the room. It is a beautiful room. I don't care that he thinks
it was a total disaster when he came here. It was so funny. I totally messed up my room, and then I didn't get it. I was so busy.
I can imagine, Matt, being able to see all them books. I mean, I've been to cons, okay? Cons are cool. But even cons or local comic shop owners, they don't have the collection like some of us guys. Like,
no, he's got a collection that if Alan was to leave these books to a comic place, you could start a museum with what he's got.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, it's like even me. Like, I'll go to a con, I'm like, yep, got it. I'm like, whatever.
I'm disappointed because one of the things the previous Canadian government had put out was they wanted to make an archival museum for things like comics and books, literature.
Oh, wow.
And it was going to be in Ottawa, and then the current government got into power and canceled it, you know. So like that's a shame because living in the capital of Canada, we get a lot of things that, like, like people only in Washington would know down there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to have them in the city we're in is just amazing to begin with. We've got the Mint, we've got the banknote
cool
company,
things to visit. Yeah,
like the currency, like we've got the Currency Museum, we've got the History
National
Museums, the War
Gallery,
Museum, the National Gallery, all that stuff. And a lot of people that live in this area don't take advantage of it. But I mean, it would have been so cool because comic books are art. They should be in museums. Alan certainly got enough to start it.
Yeah. There's pop culture museums in America.
Yeah, we don't have those here.
That's not.
Nobody's done that here.
I just need like Trudeau to give me a couple $1 million, then I can pay off all my credit card bills, and then I display all my comics. I'd be willing to open my room up as a museum.
You could, okay. I'm so tight, Alan, that instead of buying like a cool display case, I'd rather just get an art book.
Well, I'm the same way. Like I literally have like probably about 1,000 books that I should get graded.
I mean, I have these shelves with trades on them, but I don't have shelves like you guys. Everything I have is in boxes.
I have a bunch of toys. I've been working and plucking at slowly. Like I have a 8-year collection of toys. I could display them and make it look really cool, but it's just so much work, and it's hard just to focus on the next book I'm getting. And even just going to my LCS or antique shop, that's enough to keep me busy enough to where I'm still plucking at stuff. So
if I put this here, does it look like I have one of your shirts, Alan?
No, it's not.
I'm gonna have to order one of those.
Show the cup. Show the awesome cup.
Yes, this is my comic collector geek mug. I bought it literally as Alan was making the presentation. I went and bought it.
Nice.
I think that was awesome.
But you didn't have to pay for shipping because you could go right to the source.
No,
I had to pay for shipping. He doesn't have the stuff.
I don't have any of the stuff. It's
that's
right. It's through a third party company. They do that for YouTube channels.
And they're on the border. I discovered they're in Michigan, right on the border, and that's why they can do, because they just take it over to Canada. So that's why we only pay Canadian.
What they I think they have like multiple distribution centers, so they can actually do stuff in Europe. They can do stuff in America and in Canada. So it's really weird.
Well, we've been here for almost 2 hours.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm really
glad I just
did
one on a
video,
whim.
so.
You put the thing on, and I just wanted to say hi, and I ended up staying.
Oh yeah, we had a great conversation. You guys,
I might do tomorrow's show live. I don't know. I don't feel up to recording it tonight. So
I need to come over on that. I want to
hop on an interview.
Oh
no, there's no interview. Like the guy canceled that I was supposed to have for tomorrow's show. So what I'm going to do
Lady Fantastic not get back to you about that? You asked her to.
She got back to me, but I couldn't meet her on the day that we planned.
Oh, I thought that you guys did that already. Damn.
No, what happened was I was supposed to send her a link and everything. I got I was at a meeting that ran from early in the morning till like I got home at 10 at night.
God Tank, I did a couple. Legion was on with me when I did it, but I'll get to it. I'll let you know. I said after my Hulk 181 I was going to change my display, but I've been doing other things. I've been real busy. Anyways, we're gonna get out of here. You guys, thank you, Matt.
Yeah, my laptop battery's about to die, so I was gonna have to say goodbye anyway.
Yeah,
I had to move it over because where I was plugged in, the light was too strong going down.
It's very cool that you came in there, Matt, though.
I appreciate I really like to talk. I just thought I'd try it.
Yeah, you should come on my channel. Like, why did you do this on Biggie's channel first? I'm so jealous. Okay.
Because you never put a link in for me to do this.
Well, if I had known, I would have.
Yeah, I want to come on Alan's channel too. I'm sure Matt would have hopped on and just drop a link for us. We'll
and
be
technically,
there,
your channel was the first one I was on, Alan.
Yeah,
that's right. All right, I'm gonna get y'all out of here. So this has been Comic Collector Club. We talked about signatures. We talked about books you need to have 2 or 3 copies of to feel like you have the real deal. Very interesting conversation. Comic Collector Allen and Matt came on, and this has been fun. I'll see you in a couple weeks. We'll do a little bit more promo. I'll have more club members next time. Kirby Crackle, oi, oi, oi. This has been Comic Collector Club. Thank you everybody that showed up. I will see y'all soon, dude. Catch me on my top 10 Biggie Shack Commandments, Bleecker Sunday Church. Adios, amigos. I think there might be an auction too this weekend. Brother and Bands. Is it ending? It's taking a while.